In the first video, we talked about avoiding the accumulation of debt and how you practice some financial self-awareness just by tracking your cash flows, your inflows and your outflows, identifying the outflows that are ones that you don't want to continue, and identifying areas where you can make a change and identifying what those changes are going to be. What I want to focus on in this video is once you've identified the changes you want to make, how important it is in how you automate those changes, right? And I want to start by talking about why that's so important. So I actually read one of the Barack Obama autobiographies, and one of the things that he talks about is how he avoids decision fatigue. So one of the things that he does every day is he makes sure that the next morning he's not going to have to decide what he wears in the morning, because he didn't want to wear himself down with having to decide what he's going to wear in the morning when he knows he's going to have to make thousands of other decisions every day, right? And I think a lot of us with our finances make mistakes because of decision fatigue, right? We put ourselves in position to have to rely on our willpower, not to spend money on things that we don't want to spend money on. So for example, if there is a credit card bill that you know that you want to make a minimum payment and you also want to begin paying down the principal on that, and you've identified the amount that you're committed to paying down, make that so that it's an automatic deduction from your account, and make it so that it's something that happens every month. And if you have a monthly paycheck, know the date of the month that paycheck is coming in and have it going out the next day, right? Automate that. And you can do this with not just with debt, but with other non-discretionary spending in your life. So anywhere where there's a bill that you don't have a choice of whether or not to pay that bill, right? Put yourself in position to make that payment without thinking about it. Avoid the decision. Right? Make it so that it's not your willpower that has to sit down and pay that bill. It's that it just goes out. The same can be done with your savings, right? I mean, you can elect deferrals to your 401k. You can automate transfers from your checking account to your savings account. Maybe your paycheck comes into your savings account and you automate it so that it only goes, so whatever you need for spending is all that leaves that savings account, and the rest just stays there, so you can begin to accumulate wealth in that savings account. Accumulate, and when I say wealth, I mean accumulate the ability to do the things that you want to do with that money, as opposed to having to pay interest that you don't want to be paying anymore, or paid credit card bills that you don't want to pay anymore. Just to recap, I mean, the most important thing that you can do is avoid those decisions, right? We all suffer from decision fatigue in so many areas of our life, but especially see it in the area of finance. You don't want to have to rely on willpower to avoid accumulation of debt, and to avoid the non-payment of it, right? Obviously those two are related. The non-payment leads to further accumulation. And you don't want to have to rely on willpower to pay your non-discretionary expenses, right? Make it so that it's not a choice between the non-discretionary and the discretionary. The non-discretionary is going out whether you decide to do it or not. And then all that's left is available for those discretionary expenses. Once you do that, you'll be in a much better position, and you'll be much better equipped to begin focusing on the things that you want to focus on, those objectives that we talked about in the first section of this, and start saving towards those, as opposed to putting more money than you should towards high interest debt.